Today on Starto,
Hiring and firing.
7 steps to finding remarkable talent.
You want a great job? How about you start by being a great person?
Chris drops the F-bomb a lot.
Actually, so does Sandy.
This is Sandy Grayson.
And I'm Chris Franks. Welcome to Starto.
Powered by Icosa.
Hi, and welcome to Starto, the show for the worldwide entrepreneur. I am Chris Franks.
And I'm Sandy Grayson.
Sandy, how are you?
Fabulous.
It is a gorgeous day here in Denver, Colorado today.
Crazy beautiful.
Yeah, so what shoes did you wear today for a spring show here in the
I
Mile High
wore, these are,
fucking dangerous, man. I'm serious. If you're listening to us on the podcast, you have to watch the video because I have to dodge those things. They're just...
these are rubber on the bottom, so you're not in any real danger.
I don't know. I still...
These are, look, these are, oh, you can't see it, but these are Prada. These are some of my more expensive boots.
Right.
I love them. They make me very happy.
I'm glad.
Thanks.
I'm glad that you're wearing boots. I today am sporting
Can you get your foot up into the camera as a question?
Vans is what I'm sporting. Actually,
I don't think that was high enough.
The main thing that I'm sporting today is I'm sporting my Rockies shirt today. I'm wearing Helton.
Who's Helton? Sorry.
I thought you just asked me who Todd Helton is.
Sorry.
Surely.
I was also going to ask,
know.
is Rockies a baseball team?
Rockies is the baseball team. Todd Helton is the future Hall of Famer, first baseman
I'm
for the
new.
Rockies.
See, if we were in Miami, I know the Marlins are baseball and the Dolphins are football. So
the
now that I'm
Marlins are very questionably a baseball team. Anyway, we've just pissed off the Miami audience. Tell us what we're talking about on today's show, Sandy.
Today's show is all about hiring and firing.
Right.
Specifically today, though, we're talking about...
hiring amazingly talented people for your startup. As we all know, in the startup world, your team is everything. And you can be the greatest entrepreneur in the world and hire shitty people and fail.
Yep.
So how is it that you hire the greatest team? How can you get surrounded by an incredible group of people? So we have some tips and tricks.
That's what we're going to be talking about today.
Ideas. That's right. But before we do, how do people in podcast land, get in touch with us?
Say that 5 times.
I know, that's pretty tough. That was tough.
As always, please make sure you have subscribed to us on iTunes, Starto Podcast. You can find us on iTunes. You can watch the video of our podcast behind the scenes so you can see the shoes and the Rockies t-shirts and all the other shenanigans.
That's right, the cool hat.
You can see that at icosa.co/Starto. And follow us on Twitter, Starto TV, Facebook, Starto TV, like our page. Come say hi.
Come say hi. If you're ever in the neighborhood here in Denver, Colorado, swing by Galvanize.
Definitely. We are getting some requests to be on the show. I got a couple tweets in the last couple of weeks while you're on vacay, so we've got some cool guests that might be on the show soon.
Right. However, prison inmates don't count, so...
No, they were not.
They can't be on the show, unfortunately.
Okay. Do you want to hear the news? I got some great news.
So tell us what's new. What's new in the startup news world this week, Sandy?
I saw this story, and I said, this has got to be the news this week.
This is a good story.
First of all, the cell phone turned 40 this week.
Right.
The cell phone technology is 40 years old. So older doesn't necessarily mean wiser.
I agree with that.
At least when it comes to BlackBerry's accidental porn problem.
Okay, so...
Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I did, but say that again. Accidental what?
Porn.
Accidental porn problem.
You heard me right.
I love how, like, at least 80% of our shows get to some sort of sex, drugs, or rock and roll within the first 5 minutes.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's all me.
All right, so
That's what I get for marrying a rock star.
Tell me about BlackBerry's accidental
porn problem. Okay, so apparently there's this new BlackBerry Z10 that is, has a lot of cool functionality built into it. But one of the unintended functions that's built in is that users are finding that their porn habits accidentally get shared with all of their BlackBerry Messenger contacts.
You gotta be kidding me, seriously?
Is that crazy? So what happened is there's this music and video player sharing thing that's built in, and when you buy your phone, it's switched to off. But people turn it on, and it says, show what I'm listening to, which they probably think like Spotify, that they're just sharing their music.
Yeah.
But what many users found out when they turned it on was that it was sharing pornographic viewing habits with everybody in their messenger contact. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy.
I honestly just feel bad for BlackBerry at this point.
I know.
They can't get out of their own fucking way. I mean, it's like they're just a bunch of smart Canadians, but apparently.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Yeah.
If you had that phone and you turned that on, would people see, like, crazy shit?
What would they see for me?
Yeah.
They would see, let's see, we watch Pokemon in our house. We watch Ben 10 Omniverse. So that's what gets watched.
Okay.
Because, when you have kids and you've got two daughters that are slightly older than mine, you realize as soon as you hang around your kids, your phone does not become yours.
Oh, yeah.
It gets stolen.
Yeah.
It gets hijacked. It gets ganked.
Yep. They
a
were going to
word?
play games.
Is that
I
a
don't know.
word?
I like it. You can make it up. Ganked.
It gets ganked, and suddenly it is now their phone, and 80% of the applications on my phone, their applications. Yeah.
My phone, you probably only see, like, shoe porn.
Yeah, there is a thing in
Awesome
the world,
shoes.
and I think you know this. And I think
Food porn. Do you ever look at food porn? That's
no,
kinda
I do.
good.
There's a term called fly fishing porn.
Really?
And what it is it's videos of people catching monster trouts on dry flies.
Maybe if we, like, rebranded our show and it had something to do with, like, startup porn, people would watch it. We could get a lot of extra traffic.
Okay, let's go from the top. Welcome to Starto, the show for startup pornographic things.
What? We could just film people doing stuff on their computers really slowly with music in the back.
Watch the IPO. Like, yeah.
Woohoo.
Any other news for us this week, Sandy?
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much
I think that's good. That's
that
enough.
Is pretty good.
Right?
We've got some really cool things to talk to you about coming up here about some of the secrets of hiring and firing. But before we do, we are very thrilled,
Excited.
elated,
Bubbly.
bubbly, very good, to announce our new sponsor, our friends, our colleagues here in Galvanize, RentBits. RentBits, RentBits.com.
RentBits. We love them.
Incredibly cool company.
Dan,
They
Lisa,
basically
Sandra.
are your partner of choice if
Yep.
you want to rent a apartment, a house to anybody. You need to deal with RentBits, and I will tell you this specifically. We're going to tease their products a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They have a product coming out called Resident Buddy, and some of the technology that they're working on with that is just
Awesome. Sauce.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And if you
Smart
haven't checked out
apartments.
their company, they're an incredible startup. Dan has an incredible story. So check out their website, RentBits, RentBits.com, and thank them. Thank you, RentBits, for sponsoring Starto. And thank you. Give them a shout out on Twitter. Give them a follow on Twitter. Give them a follow on Facebook. Give them a like and tell them thanks for sponsoring some independent media here. And
Yeah. Tell them you heard about them. Heard about them on Starto.
Right, completely.
Chris and Sandy.
That's right.
Okay.
So thank you, RentBits. I am, however, going to take off the hat because it's slightly too small for me and it's squeezing my head. I have a huge cranium. Did you know that?
Did you know that I have a really small head?
Yeah.
We should do this. Let's put our heads next to each other. My head's probably like half the size of
All
yours.
right. I've got a gigantic head, and it's the fact that I'm bald. And for those of you
It's
in
good.
podcast land, you can come and check it out. I have no hair.
But if you had hair, your head would look even bigger.
That's right. I'm 6 foot tall. I'm 6'4" with my afro. So we are going to talk about, for the next few minutes, about some of the secrets for hiring a great team of people.
Yes.
Recruiting a great team of people. And I
What
was
are
able
the
to
secrets?
locate a really cool story, and it's from Inc.com, and the author is Jeffrey James. And it's titled 7 Secrets for Hiring Great Employees. And we'll put a link up on the website for this. But it's a very, very short thing, and it talks about some of the great, some pieces of advice for hiring great employees. Since there's only 7, I'm going to read through them real quickly. Number 1, if you don't know exactly who you're looking to hire, it's stupid to actually hire someone. Interview candidates when you're not hiring so that you know who to call when you are.
That's good.
Never hire somebody who wants the job. Instead, hire somebody who will be good at the job. Very good pieces of advice. When it comes to hiring and getting work done, 2 5s do not equal a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10.
That's good.
Right. History of success in unrelated field is more valuable than a resume full of experience. People
Wow, that's interesting.
yeah, I think that's a huge one. People accept jobs because they like companies and leave because they dislike managers. That's a pretty big one. And never be afraid to hire somebody smarter or better looking than you. And I will tell you this. Number 7 for me. Never a problem because everybody's smarter and better looking than me.
Yeah.
But I think it brings up a good point. Would any of these resonate with you, Sandy?
Yeah, I love that about it's better to find somebody that has a history of success in an unrelated field and that they're more valuable than somebody with a resume full of experience. I think that's great because, yeah, if you've been successful, even if it's in a different field completely, you're going to be able to bring that same success and confidence and work ethic to the job.
Right. And the truth is when you start at a startup, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Right.
Because there is no job description.
Making it up as you go
You're
along.
picking up as you go along.
And you got to wear a lot of different hats.
Exactly. Your job is going to change dramatically within the first week, within the first month, whatever.
Yep.
So if you are absolutely technically perfect for the job that you think, or your candidate is technically perfect for the job that you think that you're going to hire him for, but somebody is a better candidate overall, hire the better candidate without the experience. That's a huge one.
I got a chance this week to spend some time over at Ping Identity.
Right.
Have you heard of them?
Ping Identity, incredible success story, incredible Denver company. No longer a startup. We can't call them that anymore.
Let me tell you, they have got some cool offices.
Right.
Really cool. We spent the day with Andre Durand. He's pretty awesome. But anyway, I got a chance to talk to their director of human resources, and I thought she had some good tips as well. Her name's Melissa Grandchamp. She was fabulous. She looks like Elizabeth Banks.
Nice.
Yeah, she was cool. Anyway, she said she's got 25 years experience in HR, and Ping is the best company she's ever worked for. They've brought on between 90 and 100 people in the last 2 years.
Jesus.
They are in like hiring mode. In fact, I just saw on LinkedIn that they're still hiring. So if you need a job, go look at Ping Identity because they are a really cool place to work.
Only if you're a really badass person.
I kind of wanted to go work there. I was like, I could just come here every day. They had awesome. But here's why. It's because they had this awesome culture. They said they have less than 1% voluntary turnover. That's like amazing.
Yeah,
but anyway, what she said is it's all about their culture. They are constantly asking, what is our culture about? What drives our culture? And I love this. She said, we don't just look for great candidates. We look for remarkable human beings. And you can really feel it. You feel it when you're there. Their philosophy is work hard, play hard, and they do play hard. They've got foosball tables and Nerf gun wars and people that go biking during lunch.
Apparently there was some shots.
Oh, yeah. We had a, what do they call it? A budget review after we filmed.
Right.
And
budget reviews.
At the front porch, which is a very cool place too, in Denver. And yeah, there were some shots involved. Andre is a tequila pusher. I had something, let me just tell you this. I had something called, they made me do it, a mini guinea. Have you heard of this?
Well, first of all, I don't believe for a second that you were forced into taking a shot.
As Nathan. Because you know why? I had a drink and I didn't want to mix. I'm like a one cocktail girl.
Right.
You know this?
Yes.
Okay, but it's a little shot and it looks like a Guinness beer. That's why they call it a mini guinea. But what it is this coffee flavored tequila. Is it Patron? Patron with Baileys on top. And let me tell you, it tasted really good. It was dangerous. Anyway.
Anything else that you learned from
Back to Ping, yes. So she says we do a really deep dive. They look at who the candidate is as a person, what they're involved in. They're very involved in the community. They're very, very team focused. So no matter what your job is there, you're going to be working on a team. And like I said, cool company. They're obviously hiring the right kind of people because you can feel it when you're there.
So if you're kind of giving advice based on what you learned from Ping Identity to other startups out there, what would you say the advice is?
Well, like she said, they don't just look for good candidates. It's not so much about the specific tasks and qualifications. They look for remarkable human beings. So they want people that want to work hard, want to play hard, and that are going to fit into that culture that everybody across the board that we talked to said it started with Andre. They have like costume parties, and even though he's kind of like a very mellow guy, he loves to have fun, and you can feel it in those offices. So that's what I would say. If I was out hiring someone, I would want someone that had that same Just values, same value as I do. I want to have fun when I'm working.
Well, that leads me to a area that we like to call
Chris's tough love.
tough love with Chris.
Tough love
Exactly.
with Chris.
Entrepreneurs, startup people, fellow crazy people out there that want to start companies, lean in close, listen up, because everything that I've learned because I fucked it up.
He's going to drop some knowledge on you.
Do not hire somebody because they're your buddy.
No?
Do not
Don't hire all your friends?
hire somebody because they go, ooh, it would be really cool to work for your company. Well, yeah, of course it would be really cool because we're a kick-ass company. Yeah. Strokes your ego. That's where you want to hire that person. They wouldn't be the best fit. Make goddamn sure that the moment that you're ready to make a hiring decision, that is the absolute perfect person for your company. Hiring a wrong person or a bad or cancerous individual in the early stages of a company is absolutely crippling.
And it sucks firing people. We're going to talk about that on another episode.
We will suck. But I mean, the piece of advice that I've heard most frequently and the tough love that I've heard the most from my friends is hire incredibly slowly.
Hire slowly.
Make very, very sure about your hire decisions. And when it's time to fire, you fire fast. Hire slow, fire fast. But one of the things that's going to happen when you start hiring people is a lot of your friends from high school, a lot of your friends from college or business school are going to ring you up. Previous careers. Oh, wow. Your company is so good to work for, man. And you want to be the good guy who's suddenly now the hiring guy. Oh, yeah, totally. Come work for me. Don't do it. As a matter of fact, one of the great pieces of advice I got early on was you take yourself out of the hiring decisions if you know the person at all.
That's good.
If they come to you and say, hey, I'd like a job from you, you say, sorry, I can't do that because we have a relationship, but talk to my co-founder. Mm-hmm. We'll make a decision.
I think that's good.
Hugely important, and I've seen a couple of really, really good companies get completely, and I could tell you some stories about why I don't have any hair. Just kidding. But I have hired shitty people in the past, and it's really, really crippling. When you have very, very little money, when you're trying to start a company, bootstrap a company, hiring the wrong person can just be devastating.
Totally.
Devastating.
That wasn't that tough, Chris. I think you need, you started off doing tough love and you were really like getting in the camera.
Don't be a fucking idiot and hire your fucking friends.
There we go. We need a little tougher.
Be fucking smart. Get out of your own way and make sure you make a good fucking hiring decision.
All right, good.
Better?
Yeah, that's better. Because
right.
see, now I have to come in. Right. I have to come in and make it all better. So that means you got to go big.
Go big.
You got to go big.
Yeah. Well, here's my tough love. Don't be a fucking idiot.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Now, listen, even if you are a fucking idiot, it's going to be okay. Let me talk you down off the ledge. Nathan's counting how many times we say fuck.
How many are we at?
6? 7?
No, 16.
How many?
16.
16?
That's great.
Seriously? 11. Okay, 11. Is that better? Who cares? Does that matter? Do we get fined or something on iTunes?
No,
we can say whatever the fuck we want.
No, there's 12. Right.
Okay, let me make it all better. I love your advice. Don't hire your friends. Have somebody else interview. Don't be the one. Don't die. And I love hire slow. Is that what you said?
Sure. Yeah.
Hire slow.
The piece of advice I love is you don't know exactly what you're looking to hire. It's stupid to actually hire somebody.
Yeah.
I know people that have hired because they're like, oh, we have money. Mm-hmm. We need to grow the team.
Yeah. So that's good. So if you've made a bad hire, stay tuned because we will have an episode coming up very soon about how to fire.
Fucking fire him then.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't wait for our episode. Go do it right now.
That's right.
How about that? That's my advice.
So as we have now reached our all-time record of F-bombs, it's time to say...
I think we can beat it next time.
Yeah, we might
Let's try.
We'll try. What is it? That is all the time we have for this week's show. Sandy, where can people connect with us once again?
You can subscribe to us on iTunes. You can like us on Facebook, Starto TV. You can follow us on Twitter, Starto TV. And to watch the video of this show and to get the links to all the resources that we mentioned, go to icosa.co. That's icosa.co/Starto.
Check out RentBits, RentBits.com. Thank you again, RentBits. Give them a like on social media. We will post those on our podcast or on our blog post page.
Yes.
As well on icosa.co. But that is all the time we have. Join us again next week for another episode of Starto, the fucking greatest show for fucking worldwide entrepreneurs. I'm Chris Franks.
I'm Sandy Grayson. Go do fucking great things.
Fuck yeah.